Give me agriculture, I'll give you civilization. Give me no agriculture, I'll give you war, I'll give you famine, I'll give you mass death. The price of what you extract from your seas and from your land does affect food.
I've become extremely uncomfortable eating food with no known origin. Our society has become content with not knowing where our food comes from, allowing big business to use environmentally harmful and unsustainable methods to produce our food. Being an environmentalist at Elon University and knowing a billion-dollar food supplier provides our meals, I felt it was my duty to get the real story, the story behind where our food really comes from. Who would be crazy enough to go after a powerful company like Aramark? You're looking at them.
Hey, excuse me. Do you have a minute to talk about food here at Elon? Okay, how far do you think food travels to get to your plate here at Elon?
Probably pretty far, because I don't think it's local, so.
Do you know anything about Aramark, Elon's food distributor?
Not really.
If you had to guess, would you say they're sustainable and they get their food locally, or do you think it's probably just another big company?
Probably just another big company.
I don't feel like there are any checks and balances on the whole system, so there's no one releasing information on Aramark and what they're doing to the food.
Have you noticed the fresh and sustainable signs that Aramark's put up?
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit of the greenwashing though, a little bit of they're doing it just because I think that's what people want to see.
I saw the sign in what's it called, Hardin, 40,000 pounds of waste or something a year.
Do you believe it?
No, I doubt it. No.
Why?
It's sketchy. I don't know.
It is. The food distributor here at Elon, Aramark.
No, I don't know him.
Nothing. Sir, do you know anything about Aramark?
Aramark? Negative.
Do you trust Aramark?
Is that a person?
No. It's a food company here at Elon. It supplies our food.
Word.
Aramark is a multi-billion-dollar company that has about 255,000 employees. That's bigger than Apple, Microsoft, and Coca-Cola combined. They have 1,200 locations in the US alone, and they do business in 22 countries. I need a better understanding of the bigger picture before talking directly to Aramark. So I decided to take a road trip around North Carolina and see what people had to say. I found a few people who had some concerns about where our food comes from. Leslie Lammers is a journalist who specializes in sustainability, and John Soner owns Echo Farms in Chapel Hill. Their knowledge made me even more apprehensive about how we acquire our food.
It is such a problem how people don't know a thing about food, and people eat Wendy's and McDonald's. That's pathetic.
What we have now is a industrialized food system where the majority of our land has been consolidated into the hands of very few powerful companies. They have a lot of money, a lot of political power, a lot of lobbying power, and so what that kind of power creates is the ability to have a lot of control over the regulations and laws that protect our environment and protect our health.
And where the food's coming from, I mean, how it's grown, and all the pesticides and all the petroleum-based fertilizers, and where it's being shipped in from who knows where. I mean, everything. It's just polluted. So people, I just can't believe you learn all this stuff in school, but not what you eat. And I don't think they know, so they can't even teach you. But we're gonna have some problems.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have some problems.
What does our society come to? Why don't we care about what we're eating? Why does everything have to be in a box or freeze-dried before we eat it? It just doesn't make any sense. There has to be another way, another group of people, a company or something out there that cares about the community, that cares about what we're eating and where we're getting it from. Oh wait, there is.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
I found a food co-op in Burlington where they actually care about the quality of food in the local community. Stephen Walter is the marketing manager at the co-op, and along with John and Leslie, Stephen added valuable information about what it actually means to be local.
What buying local means is trying to support your community. So keeping that money in your community, in your region.
We define local as anything within 250 miles. So if anything is sourced in Canada, you know, it's basically going to be a couple hours drive. 2 to 3 hours drive is going to be roughly about what we call local.
When you buy local, you are more connected to where that food comes from, and you can make a more informed decision as a consumer if you're able to know more about the farmer and how they produce that food.
I can tell you, who grew your sweet potatoes this week. I can tell you where I get some of the meat. I've met the farmer. I can tell you his name. I can tell you where his farm is, and what type of cows and all that good stuff is.
I'll cut lettuce on a Friday morning, right there, and box it. The next day it's at the market, and that's fresh.
I think you can taste the difference between something that has been picked fresh that morning and sold to you at the market, as opposed to being processed in a warehouse and shipped, across the country or from another country to get to you.
Pretty much everything here is fresh. We don't, if anything is basically quote unquote out of date.
I mean, not picking a green tomato in Chile and shipping it here, and it turns red about 2 weeks later. That's not, or they gas it, that's not fresh. Fresh is right out of the garden.
So now that I have a good idea about how we should obtain our food, it's time to talk to Aramark and see what they have to say.
Here at Elon, we do try to do as much possible to get in local foods for all the students and all the customers on campus.
Wait, what'd you say?
Get in local foods for all the students and all the customers on campus.
Okay, I'm listening.
Elon Dining is part of the 10% campaign, so 10% of the food served here on Elon's campus is coming locally.
Yeah, only 10%? What about the other 90%? What's the significance of even saying you're buying local then?
For us, it's just educating the students on purchasing locally, to help local businesses and kind of flourish the local community here.
Wait a second. So you want to flourish the local community by educating them and not by buying from them?
Do you know anything about Aramark?
Negative.
Not really. Is that a person?
Yeah, that really worked. Do you know maybe where out of state that they're getting this food from?
I wouldn't know that. I'm sorry. I don't know where every single thing comes from, but...
Do you know if it's like from out of the country, maybe Brazil or South America?
Normally we don't get many things from very far away. Most stuff is, I would say, within the United States.
It should all be from the United States. It should all be from North Carolina even. Alright, so it sounds like Aramark is making an effort. It's a small effort, but at least it's a start.
It's good to start somewhere. You have to create standards and then work from there. Going local can't just happen overnight.
Somewhere in our 5 to 10 year plan, we're trying to get a sustainable concept where everything would be local, all the chairs, everything would be local.
It's so easy to sell out and say, hey, I'm gonna buy Chinese stuff, I'm gonna buy this, because it's cheaper. But the main thing is making a conscious effort to keep that money within the community.
I started this journey with the preconceived notion that there was no way a big-time food distributor like Aramark could possibly be sustainable or have the community's best interest in mind.
We have tons of accounts throughout the nation and globally, and everybody's working towards the same goal, and that's to be more sustainable.
At this point, I'm still not sure about Aramark. It seems as if they're taking steps in the right direction, but how do we really know? I'm not saying to bash, occupy, or protest every big company you come across, but remaining passive won't get us anywhere either.
Grade schools that are creating these farm-to-school programs and school gardens and integrating it into science class curriculums, that's generating an interest in the next generation. That's going to create a new wave of leaders for the local food movement.
There's no reason why other big corporations can't source their food locally. It's our job to put the pressure on these big corporations to make a change. I encourage all of you to think before you eat, figure out where your food is coming from and where your money is ultimately going.
Whatever way it takes, you ought to learn about what you're eating. There's plenty of people with the knowledge and they're having more farm tours. Get out and see how your food is produced before you put it in your mouth. And use a little common sense.
Walker. Welcome to the show, it's that white boy flow. I pull up to the party. What brother do you know? Yo, I'm sick of these fat dudes, they thinking they sweet. They wearing those gay boot shoes all on their feet.
It's not the brotastic fashion that has us clashing. It's the party inside that I'm crashing. It's the girls in the back that I'm mashing. Throwing up peace signs with a passion.
Welcome to the EU where they don't serve liquor. And the cops be on you for no parking sticker. We be living in this bubble, not a worry in sight. Just look out for the Beta and the Burlington Nights.
Welcome to the EU where we got one bar. And the campus is polluted with fruity frat stars. The fan base sucks in all of our sports. Student section wears some dresses and short shorts.
Don't you wanna be me? Don't you wanna be me? I can see it in your eyes that you wanna be me. Bigger guys stopping by to do a rhyme for free. If you look past our size, we are fine as can be.
Top of the stairs and I'm breathing heavy. Sitting in class and I'm super sweaty. Wanna get your ass beat? Call me fatty. Bring the girl around, she can call me daddy.
Welcome to the EU where they don't serve liquor. And the cops be on you for no parking sticker. We be living in this bubble, not a worry in sight. Just look out for the Beta and the Burlington Nights.
Welcome to the EU where we got one bar. And the campus is polluted with fruity fat stars. The fan base sucks in all of our sports. Student section wears some dresses and short shorts.
Play no game when I'm
Don't fucking laugh.
I'll let your boy.